I mean, is this thing on? Welcome to Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast, where we always get comfortable being uncomfortable and no topic is ever off limits. A weekly dose of this thing we call life. And, well, if it's about my life, we always make it a double. It's a new level of maturity, confidence, and love. Now let's talk about it. And we are back, y'all. The way I was contemplating on how I wanted to do this today, I said, no, maybe we shouldn't. Maybe I'll give myself a break. I was supposed to do one recording. I wanted to do a recording as fresh as possible. And then life happened. And then I just said, you know what? This still deserves for me to get on the mic. So welcome back, guys, to another week and another episode on Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast. Ooh, let me fix. Y'all did some layers in this hair. And then the weather today just got it acting up. But here we are. I am joining you on episode 140, which turns out to be dropping on the day. That's right. I got here a glass of wine. Is dropping on the day that we are celebrating here this show 5 years. 5 years, y'all. 5 years. And I almost skipped it. Because a part of me said, I took a 400-day hiatus. Do I really celebrate this? Like, do we recognize it? And the truth is, think about us as humans. We have some pretty great years, and then there's that 1 year that like kicks our ass, maybe 1 to 2 years. I really gotta fix this hair, y'all. There's like 1 to 2 years that like really kicks our ass, and that doesn't take away on all the years of wisdom, right? It doesn't. We still continue and we still celebrate all the years. We still celebrate the year we've made it to, and all the years of experience and all the years of wisdom. And so in reflecting that a little bit, I said, no, we have to celebrate 5 years of this show, because every single year has impacted to where the show is today, to why the show came back, to why Miss D is who she is. And happy 5th anniversary to Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast. I had asked for people to go give the show a gift and rate 5 stars. Y'all still got time to do it. You have a whole year ahead of you to do it until we turn 6, hopefully. We have been vibing it out since the return, and I'm super proud of it. I definitely had a little bit of a, skip here and there. One being the family gets hit with something, the other being I wasn't very well. And even with that, I have still been motivated to continue to show up. Life has been hitting me so hard since the beginning of this year. Let me keep it all the way raw. Since before the beginning of the year, it has. I'm not even going to lie. I'm going to keep it all the way raw with y'all. And, I've been trying my best. I've been trying my best to deal with all things life. I've been trying my best to manage all of it, to maneuver things up and down and all around. I have been dealing with a lot of realizations. And the reason I want to call them that is because there's a lot more realization about me in these situations than anything else. But also, it has taken me back to 5 years ago when the show first started. I'm not sure if I ever truly share this, but I'll share it now because I think it's so relevant to a lot of what I'm experiencing today. One of the things that life is teaching me right now, 5 years later, with all this growth and all the experience, and y'all know, if it's your first time here, you're going to learn today. But if you've been here before, you know that I always say I'm an expert in my experiences. And experience has told me that where I am today as a human being, as a woman, as a mother is oh, so beautiful. It is. I have to say it. It is. I am very, very proud of myself. I am proud of just where I am, how I got here, everything I've learned along the way, and with the things that I am currently experiencing. I've been able to put into practice certain things that I've learned. I've been able to reflect a lot. I've been able to sit here and to say, well, what would Daisy do? What did Daisy used to do? What would Daisy do today so different? I've been able to assess things like that. I've been going through this wave of, I don't want to be who I used to be. I don't want to go back to that person I once was. And someone so dope, and I hope to bring her on here when our coaching finishes, finalizes, I should say. She coaches me. I'm not a coach. Maybe someday. Don't know. And she said to me, like, I don't want you to say that because that person who you were has everything to do with who you are today. Like, one person of who I was has evolved so much that it is who I am today. And she's right. I shunned so much that old me. I scrutinized so much the old me, you know, and I shouldn't do that to her. I shouldn't do that to Ms. D in 2020, March 17th. Even Ms. D, I don't know, 2015, March 17th. I shouldn't do that to neither one of them because it's still part of the testimony of who I am today. Everything that I've lived, everything that I've loved, everything that I've experienced, everything that I've cried over, everything that I've celebrated, everything that I have prayed over, it all impacts who I am today. March 17, 2020, I launched this show. I didn't know what to expect. You know, when you first launch something like this and it's a whole wave of it, you know, you're like, oh, I could monetize, I could quit my job, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Then throughout the years and with time, it's like, I'm not trying to let go of what I know how to do, what I love to do, because I know how to do it right. So I'm not trying to let go of that, but this is still a space and a platform that I have created for myself, but also for others to have a voice, to tell their story, to keep it all the way raw, like I do. And in more ways than one, this platform has been so therapeutic to me, right? So I kept it going regardless. Now, don't get it twisted. There has been some wins here and there. And oh no, there might still be some more wins. Who knows? Because who's to tell the future? Who's to tell how this is going to go? Not I. It's in God's hands. Not I. Okay? But going back to March of 2020, I realized that in birthing this baby, because I used to call her my second baby, okay? In birthing this baby, I was also experiencing letting go of certain things. I was definitely through what I realize now is more so like a grieving process of walking away of something that was very much so what I realized today in a span of 10 total years, on and off, inconsistent, regardless of how the last couple of years was more consistent. It was very draining throughout all that time. Even looking back to that, I'm like, damn, you gave that shit 10 years on and off. Fuck. You know, no shade to what that experience was. It was the experience that it was. I don't take it for granted. I learned so much from it. And I could say I could keep it dear to my heart regardless. But knowing what I was able to do then, and no matter how much I experienced so much of mixed emotions, so much of questions and doubts and regrets and and all these other things, all the while celebrating the launch of a show, a podcast show, all the while. The world was shutting down as we know it, right? Because part of our history now. There was so much uncertainty on so many things. And looking back to that, I still came out of that. So now I'm here like, damn, it is March 17, 2025. Now your girl ain't going through no pandemic. Thank God. Lord Jesus, cover us. Your girl is not going through walking away from a 10-year on and off whatever. Okay? Your girl's going through different things though. Your girl's going through different things, different situations with different people, different experiences. Definitely a new level, new spaces, new different spaces, I should say. I can't say it's been challenging in a negative way, but it's been challenging for sure. A challenge because there's been a learning process. Your girl has definitely been on a new wave of experiences that have truly put her in a position to tap in, to reflect, to work harder on herself on a new level. Now, y'all know I've been saying on the show, it's a new level of maturity, confidence, and love. And it is. It is. Because it begins with me. Because who I was 5 years ago is not the same person. Because I did learn so much from that woman. Okay. I did. At the end of that year, I was celebrating my 35th birthday. At the end of this year, God willing, God cover me, I will be celebrating my 40th. I can honestly say that the way life has lifed, the ups and downs, the all arounds, the good times, the bad times, the losses, the wins, the, I want to say even heartbreaks, because not everything has been good. And there's always some form of pain attached to certain things, right? And all the happiness too. It has all led me to where I am today. And so, where is Miss D today? Well, Miss D has such a greater sense of maturity, has such a beautiful sense of confidence, has such a greater and deeper sense of love, not just for me, but even for others at different capacities. Now, can I tell you that the world has known what to do with that? No, not everybody. Can I tell you it's been a wave of emotions in that in itself? Absolutely, it has. But one thing that has stayed with me, whether it's for myself, for my family, for my friends, and for anyone who has entered my life at a different type or capacity, is that no matter what I go through, no matter what I live through, no matter who does or says what towards me, towards my life, towards my safe haven, I don't want life to change my heart. I don't want life to change who I've been these past 5 years, who I am today. I want life to continue to add to it. And I recognize that it's going to take a lot of me to make sure that that happens. I'm in a space today where I am able to just embrace so much more. Because what I thought I was able to embrace before is nothing compared to what I'm able to embrace today. It's nothing. But one thing I do know for sure, and it's been reaffirmed to me even most recently, man, I have a huge heart. Man, life hasn't done me so dirty to the point to take me all the way back to a dark place where I once was many, many years ago. Many, many years ago. And I definitely want to continue on, being that woman, being that badass woman, being that boss ass woman, doing what she loves to do with her career, doing for her community, doing for her people, being a badass mama. Because, damn, I always say if there's one thing I did right in this world is that young man. Being that lover, being that loyal person, being that person that wants to give, being that woman who wants to embrace, being that woman who has discovered so much today and wants to be able to have that shared with people and in spaces that are not only going to know what to do with it, genuinely deserve it, but will know how to reciprocate it in so many different forms and shapes of relationships. Because that's what's really life is about, is that type of new level of maturity, confidence, and love. I have had such an opportunity to build this space. And one of the things I want to celebrate on this 5-year anniversary is that for the first time in last week's episode, I was able to be so vulnerable with y'all. I was able to open up so much to y'all. And life has still continued to teach me that not everybody deserves that. Life has still continued to show me that I still have to be very selective with who gets to see that side of me, with whom gets to have that of me. Still, life does that to me, and that's okay. I still don't want it to change my heart, though. I still don't want it to change who I am today. And I'm so grateful that I have been able to create this platform. I have been able to create this stage. I have this microphone, and I'm able to do that here because at the end of the day, one of y'all can relate. One of y'all is gonna hear me. One of y'all is gonna say, "Y'all, Ms. D is so right with that shit. She kept it all the way raw." One of y'all, it could impact you, it could inspire you, it could change you. And baby, if this isn't the second thing I've done right in this life, okay? To me, that's a win. That's a celebration. That is a cause for tears on 5 years. Because there's so much growth in that. And I think it's time to really get into crunch time. I think a few episodes ago, even before the hiatus or trying to come back from the hiatus, I think I had shared with y'all that I wanted to revamp one of my art pieces that I had shared here before. And I was working on for so long into the second installment of it, my journals. And I think it's time to revisit that. I think it's time to revisit the what I had already utilized as a space of journaling to release to y'all. I think it's time to go back to that. I think it's time to revisit that in itself, to reflect on that, and not necessarily perfect it, but to make sure it is so intentional so that I could finally share it with y'all. I think it's time. I think it's relevant to the 5 years. I think it's time even to revisit the one I did launch. Maybe I need to update it. I need to update all of y'all. Who knows? But I think it's time. I think it's time to really pour into that new level of maturity, confidence, and love, and really share with y'all so much of what has been in my heart, and share it for the purpose of, I hope it touches yours. So 5 years later, I would say there's some dope ass episodes here. There's some that I'm like, God, Miss D, did you have to go there? I did. I have not deleted any of them. I don't know if I would ever. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'll just give the whole show a whole new look. Who knows? But I do know that we're back. And I do know that even with all that I'm going through, even with all that I'm feeling, even with all that I'm living, even with all that I find myself constantly praying over, even though all that has hurt me to my core, I'm still so fucking excited about this new chapter on this show, on this platform. Because on this platform, we get comfortable being uncomfortable. No topic is ever off limits. And I'm excited. I'm excited. So I'm giving y'all at least 20 minutes of a celebration. I hope you have listened to the episode from last week. If it touched you, if anything resonated with you, please share with me. But on these 5 years, I want to be able to celebrate with y'all 5 years of history, 5 years of voices, 5 years, even with a 400-day hiatus, because that comeback baby was strong enough, okay? 5 years of voices, 5 years of stories, 5 years of experiences, 5 years of rawness, and reassure you. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna make it to another 5 years, but I can reassure you that we still gonna show up every single chance we can, hopefully consistently every single week, but most importantly, consistently to every single chance we get, consistently to be intentional, consistently with purpose, consistently with meaning, consistently with a message. That's what I want on this 5-year anniversary of this show. I want that for Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast. I want to commit to that with y'all. And I hope you guys join me. And on that note, guys, this has been another week and another episode on Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast. I'm your host, Miss D, and you guys will tune in next week. Bye. Cheers. Happy 5 years. Y'all like this, right? Y'all know it.